Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of the Family Chantel Season 4, Episode 13, Hot Pursuit. Y'all ready? Let's get started.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop
auntie
boop.
that everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody, and this is Auntie. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for joining the family. We are one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, honey. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here diligently with me throughout the years. Thank you all so much for your continued support. I want to welcome Crystal. Love is a Lovelace. Yes, Lovelace to the membership. Welcome to the family. Welcome, Crystal, to all the members of Auntie's Advice. Please welcome Crystal into our family. Crystal, you're going to see a little surprise that we did yesterday in the membership. We had an opportunity to talk to someone. Don't y'all give it away, y'all members. Don't give it away. Don't say nothing in the comment section. But Crystal, we had an opportunity to talk to someone yesterday, honey. You're going to be a little surprised, boo. Welcome to the family. If I had to rate this episode of The Family Chantel, Season 4, Episode 13, Hot Pursuit, I would rate this episode a flat ass A. Yes, I would. Now, I don't know whether or not these are reenactments or not. Like, I don't know. But I'm telling you, this to me was one of the best episodes, again, of The Family Chantel, simply because the family came together. And it's nothing like family where you're going through stuff, right? We have seen Pedro's family support him in all his right and all his wrongs. And we've kind of always seen, like a little bit of controversy with the family. But this time they all pulled together and I was here for it, boo. So where we left off on last week's episode of The Family Chantel, Pedro had went to go and see a lawyer. He discovered during that interview that he could have left Chantel 3 years ago. Okay, 2-3 years ago. He found out, what his rights were and everything. And Pedro came back cocky as ever. Chantel was sitting in the back, enjoying a book, and it looked like it was fall. And he came back to the back after meeting with the lawyer and told her that he wanted a divorce. He had, at that point, in my opinion, had solidified his plan. He at that point knew what he was going to do. Now, for all of you all who are new, this is a rant and not a review, which means that I will not be going scene by scene, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. I will not be doing that. This is a rant. In this rant, I give my opinions and I say all that you want to say. You know, when you sitting at home in front of your television and you screaming at the, at the screen, and you cussing people out, honey, while you eating your din or your popcorn or drinking your wine or whatever you doing, okay? Okay. You may have some 420, but that ain't none of my business. This is what this is, okay? So I just want to make sure that I let y'all know this ain't a review, so don't be looking for one. So Pedro, told her that he wanted a divorce. The two of them had been living in the house together. Chantel, really did not want to end her relationship with Pedro. And so she convinced him to stay in the household with her. But since he had been staying in the household, Chantel had been violating the rules, okay? The rules of engagement, which mean don't say to me, we just living in the same house. But Chantel is outside of the bedroom door. She's knocking. She's crying. She's up one minute, down the next. You know how we are as women, especially when it's that time of the month, honey. You don't know what sister girl is coming out. Can I get an amen in the comment section? Honey. So I don't know, where her state of mind was or why her state of mind was that way, but she has always seen marriage a successful marriage because her mother and father have been together for, I believe, over 30 years. And so Chantel knows that, she knew when Pedro had asked, or suggested that they separate, she knew that that was one of the steps to getting a divorce, and she did not want that. Chantel has not been perfect in this relationship, but neither has Pedro. When we met Pedro and Chantel on 90 Day Fiance, okay, because that's how far back we go, okay? We go all the way back. We go knee-high to diapers when it comes to 90 Day Fiance, okay? We've been doing it for a long time here on Auntie's Advice. When we met Pedro years ago, we suspected that Pedro was only dating Chantel for the U.S. citizenship. Yes, Mama Karen had already said that they were harvesting the American coin, and one of Pedro's friends came out and told Chantel and her mama now, okay, that this was a dating thing that his mother does as an attorney. So it was all kinds of allegations that were going on. So for many of us to find ourselves here today talking about a divorce is not a surprise to us because we suspected it from the beginning. Okay? From the beginning. Yes, we did. So we see Chantel laying in bed. We see Pedro saying that he brought this house with Chantel because, he wanted her to grow up and be responsible and maybe think about kids and having a family and all of that. This mofo has been telling Chantel from the beginning that he hasn't wanted any kids. And I wonder why he had that position, why he took that stance that he didn't want her to have kids. Could it have been because he knew that he had a strategy, an exit plan, if you will? So Chantel is innocently laying in the bed doing what she do, and here comes Pedro driving down the street with a U-Haul truck. He backs it up. He pulls the bumper up to the garage. He goes into the vehicle, and now, honey, he is pulling out boxes. This mofo didn't even pre-pack. So you know that this was a stunner move. You know that this was a strategic move. You know that this was for shock value. How in the hell do you not even pack stuff? You go and get a truck and you coming in that day and packing? Who does that? Pedro or some mofo, in my opinion, that already had a plan from day A. So he wakes her up to let her know that he's leaving and he's packing his things. So Chantel starts to gather some of the things, in her drawers that was his. And she said, I brought this for you. She gave him some underwears and stuff. No, that was Patty. And, so Pedro is, cleaning up shop. He's taking his stuff out there. But he just announced that he wanted a divorce. He just announced that. So what did he do? Get off work and go straight to the U-Haul place before they close for the night so he could pick it up in the morning? Like, this is slimy. And so, of course, Chantel is upset about it. She's befuddled, and she's just going through what any one of us would if this was our life. To have your man to just show up with a U-Haul truck and he's packing up his stuff, you're going to act ignorant and stupid too. I know I would. I know I would. He lucky he got out. You know what, Auntie? Think it, but don't say it. Think it, but don't say it. Thank you so much, Christina Smith, for the membership. Welcome to the family. We got some little treats for you back there, Christina. I hope that you enjoy. Some of the stuff is on private, so you may see some little things, but it's on private. But it's some good stuff that's back there for you, and we'll be coming together real soon with another little special interview. Okay! So I'm hoping that you enjoy being a member of Auntie's Advice. All the members of Auntie's Advice, please welcome Christina. So, Chantel, of course, is upset. She lets her family know what is happening and everything. The whole family comes together. They've been having conversations, as a family with Puddle, Winter, and Thomas and Miss Karen. And they are like, we suspected this. I really thought that Puddle really grew up to be a little pawn. He's no longer a Puddle anymore. He's a pawn, because he really was trying to pursue a relationship with Pedro. He put his feelings to the side. All of them did. And really tried to bond with Pedro. But now that we're here, Pawn said, I just want him to go. Like, he wants a divorce, get a divorce, do what you do, just get the hell up out of our lives. Winter's at the same opinion. Mama Karen and Thomas, they like, okay, this was a scam. And I don't know how many of you all agree with it, but I really do. Like, I thought that from the beginning. It appeared to be working. They got a show together. Pedro began to start making those coins. He got into real estate. And the thing about it is, he talks about how much stuff that he sacrificed. When Pedro, I believe, met her, he was working like at a resort or something like that. He didn't have like a degreed job, and he was a scientist, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or an entrepreneur. He was none of that. He was Pedro from the block. He didn't pursue his baseball dreams. He didn't do anything. Pedro did not leave anything, and probably would still be nothing if it had not been for Chantel. Now, that doesn't mean that he is beholden to her. It just means that he's married to her, and that he should treat her as a husband should treat a wife, and vice versa. It's on both sides. The two of them were very young and immature. Chantel came into money. She loved to travel and all of that stuff. Her and Pedro was traveling together. They get up and go to the DR like I get up and go over to Tyson's Corner. You understand what I'm saying? So in my opinion, for exchange, no robbery. But he feels like Chantel, or the excuse that he's using is that Chantel didn't support him. How, Sway? How? How did she not support him? In everything that, in my opinion, he was pursuing, she was helping him out. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been looking at this all these years and I've been wrong. But I like the fact that the family came together and said what they said. Now, Pedro is up in arms because he got up in the morning, he moved into this apartment, he gets up the next day and think he going to the grocery store, and his card is declined. He can't buy anything because the whole joint account got wiped out. So he can't purchase even a carton of eggs. And so now he's on hot pursuit for Chantel. Because he's going to do what? The way that he's been driving, the way that he's been acting, it's a good thing that Chantel wasn't found. Because there's no telling what he would have done. He is hot, he's angry, he's mad, he feels bamboozled, and maybe he is. Maybe Chantel was wrong for taking that money out of that account like that. But Chantel said that he gonna pay her. He gotta pay for the stay. She said that she helped him get into the United States and that, she has tolerated his stuff all these years and he's going to pay her for her pain. And if it was a joint account, I don't know how that works because I don't have a joint account with nobody. Okay? Auntie money is auntie money. But from my understanding, if it's a joint account, it's the first one to the bag. Chantel got a cashier's check, boo. And I believe that Mama Karen, this is just my opinion, told Chantel, secure the bag. Take that money up out of there. Now, we see Chantel driving. We don't know where Chantel is going. But we see Pedro come to the house and start cleaning out Chantel's house. He took a Gucci bag out there and said, I'll send this to my mother. He took some shoes out of there. He was rummaging all through the drawers. Why didn't you do to see if you had prepared yourself and you wasn't so hard-headed? You probably could have got all the stuff that Chantel ended up having in the box at the end of the episode. But see, you hard-headed, you were anxious to get out of there. You secured your freedom. Okay? You found out what your rights was. And so you just wasn't thinking and went on and moved out. Yeah, I'm cleaning something with my OCD. Okay? Mama Karen was the GOAT. And I know some of y'all probably don't agree with Auntie. But honey, let me tell you, if that was my daughter, I would have told her how to do the same thing. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You can judge me later. You can do whatever you want. But I am not going to allow my daughter to sit up in my face and be crying and sad. And if she says, Mommy, I need you to help me secure the bag, I'm going to help my daughter secure the bag. And you could say, like I said, you could say whatever you want to say about me. But the way that this man has done this, and they always thought that he was harvesting that coin. But what I don't understand is why they didn't have single accounts. See, so that's, there is some truth to that. A lot of people say, couples, when they get married, they should have one account. You always got to have your own. Because at least if he had his own account, he would have been able to dibble and dabble in that one. But he took everything and brought everything together with her. That was stupid. But these may have been the checks that was coming from appearances, 90 Day Fiance, the Family Chantel, and that's why they made him joint. I don't know. But Pedro can't stake claim. He says that he wasn't going to do anything with the money. He wasn't going to wrong her. He wasn't going to pull everything out. He was going to split it 50-50. He a whole ass lie, in my opinion. I don't see Pedro having that kind of integrity, especially when he's getting guidance from his mama. Nicole was saying something. I fast forwarded through Nicole because I didn't want to hear anything she has to say when she's dealing with raggedy ass Alejandra. When she can't even be real with her parents about what happened with her. So what the hell she got to say about anybody's relationship? Nothing, nada, not. Pedro is riding around looking for Chantel after he leaves the home. He goes over to Thomas' house, and Thomas and Winter are outside. Thomas is like, yeah, he ain't been over here in a minute. I ain't talked to this mofo, and now he's showing up. Got to be some. So he pulls up to the thing and says, Chantel's took money out of my account. They don't give a damn. The father was like, didn't you say you wanted to divorce her? Didn't you move out? Fuck you standing on my place for? I feel like this was a whole scam. It was a marriage scam. Pedro was like, well, I could have left. I could have got my citizenship 3 years ago. Bitch, you just found that out. You just found that out. My lawyer said, yeah. So now, after your lawyer told you what your rights were, now you're out of there. What a coinky dink. If Pedro had known then what he knows now, in my opinion, he would have left her. He just found out. Like Princess, where's Princess at? Like Princess said. So you gonna go to the father's house and act like you knew this the whole time and you stayed knowing that you could have left within 3 years? Bitch, you telling a whole lie. And then Winter was getting up in his, because Winter was like, I feel like you used my sister, the way you talk to my sister, all that kind of stuff. Don't nobody care. He gonna sit up there and argue with them. So Pat Chantel, they have a joint credit card. And it pings you when somebody's using it. And so he finds out that Chantel is in a hotel. He drives his crazy ass to the hotel. And when he drives his crazy ass to the hotel and he's running around pursuing Chantel, he lost a whole real estate deal. He lost a whole real estate deal. The girl said, I closed up on that joint. I sold him the house. So why he ain't tell her what's going on? That he ain't got no money to eat. Evidently he got something because he's sure burning up gas, bitch. He is burning up gas looking for Chantel. And they asked Miss Karen, have you talked to Chantel? You know anything about this money? Miss Karen was like, my daughter's protecting herself. Miss Karen ain't telling them, and I wouldn't either. Don't ask me about my child. Do I think that Miss Karen helped her? Hell yeah. And Thomas was just sitting there too with the straight face. Because right now we're in battle. And let me tell you something. When people are in battle and you at war, you can't tell me how to fight. You can't tell me because you came in with punches, want to swing punches, that I can't pick up a bottle and bust you in your... You can't tell a person how to fight and how to fight back. Because ain't nothing fair in love and war. Nothing. And that's why Pedro is riding around there, because he's hot. And this is going to get ugly, in my opinion. Now, as we know, the two of them currently have restraining orders out against each other. I would too, because it looks like at the end of the episode that Pedro found her and started going up in the car snatching stuff. He found all of his stuff. When she left out the house, she left plenty of water and plenty of food for the cat. That's how he knew. So Pedro is saying that she got that cashier's check and she's going to Panama. Now, she had already told her girlfriend that her and her girlfriend was going away. I don't know if this was methodical. I don't know if Chantel was being strategic, but Pedro seems to believe that she is taking that money, a cashier's check, to Panama to deposit. Why would she have to do that when she could wire transfer that? There's nothing that you have to fly and do. You can do a wire transfer. You can open up an account in Panama. She don't have to fly. Who flies with a cashier's check of $267,000? Who does that? But you can't tell Chantel how to fight. You can't tell Mama Karen not to support her daughter because Pedro has been dirty. This is dirty, in my opinion. He has been playing dirty because he wanted a divorce, in my opinion, the whole time. And after he talked to that lawyer, he pushed the gas. He doubled down. Is Chantel immature? Yes. Is taking the money maybe the wrong thing to do? Yes. Is she going to have to probably pay for what she did? Yes. In a divorce decree. When they go to court and the two of them sit with their attorneys and they work out everything for the divorce, it'll get settled then. But you can't steal, in my opinion, you can't steal what's yours. And if the bank saw that if the bank allowed her to take it out, the bank saw her as the owner of that money. Evidently, they have it set up where both parties have to sign off. Some people I know have it set up that way where, in order for us to do a withdrawal over a certain amount of money, both of us have to be present, and it has to be 2 signatures. But Chantel said that he had been taking money. Chantel indicated that he had been taking money out the account, $5,000, and didn't mention to her about it. She said she was just, like blase, because she had total trust in her marriage. She trusted him. In the last episode, she cried and said, I trusted my husband. When everybody else told me that I had reason not to, I still did it. I trusted that month. And this is the way that he showed me how grateful and thankful he was to throw this on me. Point blank and period. The family is like, okay, we're going to protect her. All for one, bitch. All for one and one for all. We with her for the long haul. We ain't backing up. We going to double down on it because we think he was a fraud from the beginning, harvesting the American money, the American dollar, and bitch, they'll have no love for him. And guess what? Neither is Miss Nicole and neither is Miss Lydia. They're going to be the same way with Pedro. They always have been. But one thing that Pedro's mother told him, don't trust her ass. Now the mother knew because guess what? She's been a scorned woman as well. Except for she won't never married. She's been a scorned woman as well. So she know how low a scorned woman will go. Honey, when you broken and all your dreams are just dead on arrival, just one day your hope and life change, You don't know what you would do. You don't know. And I know some people will probably say, well, Auntie, you taking Chantel's side, you're not thinking about Pedro. If the same thing happened and it was Pedro who took the money out, would I be mad? Yes. I would be mad that Pedro did it. But at the end of the day, if the bank said that the money belongs to Pedro and he has a right to it and he doesn't need her signature, ain't nothing I could do about it. But would I have thought that he had wronged her? Yes. And that's simply because watching them from the very first episode of 90 Day Fiancé, I always thought that Pedro had the potential to do this. Pedro talks about all the stuff that he used to do for Chantel when we saw episode after episode, Chantel going out back and forth to work and Pedro playing video games. There used to be these two guys that did the reviews. And I cannot think of their names right now, but they used to do a review, and they were actually in a group with him playing video games. They were in a group of him, and they were YouTubers. Pedro played games allegedly all day, and he talks about the sacrifice that he made for Chantel. Boy, sit your whole. Anyway, this is the end of my rant. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to the young ladies who joined the membership. I appreciate you all, and I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you to my moderators who always keep the room nice and safe. Look, let me just say this in closing. If you done been here and you done seen 2 videos, you family. So you might as well go ahead on and hit that subscribe button. It is free 99. It's not going to cost you a penny more. Not 1 penny. So go ahead on and hit it. And when you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so that when I pop my ass on here, you will be notified and be in the chat. These chats here, Auntie's Advice, is off the chain. They have a great time in the chat. It is like family in the chat. We are nieces. They are my nieces and nephews, and they are all cousins down here in this chat. And this chat is what makes this channel what it is. I thank every one of you all for being here tonight. Thank you all for just the love and the support that you have shown. I love you all to pieces. And until we meet again, y'all, be safe out there in them streets. Love y'all.